My wife cheated on me while on a girls-only weekend trip. I cut ties, but now the truth has, my wife Carrie and I were together for 6 years. We had a pretty good run for 5 of those. We had a 2-year-old daughter at the time, bought a house, careers were moving in the right direction. I always thought our relationship was perfect. Maybe I was just delusional. I really thought I was delusional post-affair up until recently. I actually don't even like calling it an affair. Affair adds so much more to it. Kind of implies there were emotions and plans and the sharing of lives, at least to some degree. There wasn't any of that. She got tipsy and got involved with some guy she met earlier that day in front of all her friends. That's not an affair. I don't even know what you call that. When you get cheated on, you run through this gauntlet of emotions. I don't need to recap everything, but it's crazy the things that go through your mind. I found I was blaming myself more often than her, or the dude. I was questioning whether I drove her to do this, or maybe she was a serial cheater and has been doing this for years. Thought maybe I was just terrible at sex, and she was just trying to get one in before she had to come back to me. I blamed myself, wondered if I was inattentive or neglectful. The most painful part of all was feeling like it was my fault, because I really pushed her to go on the trip. Her best friend Leah had her divorce finalized about a month before the ill-fated trip. I've known Leah for about 5 minutes shorter than I've known Carrie. For the most part, I like her. She can be a bit much sometimes. What I mean by that is, if something goes even slightly wrong, you would think the world is ending. When things are good, she is fun to hang out with, but if not, it goes sideways from the start. Example, we all went to dinner one night, and where they sat, us had a bit of draft when the front door opened. This put her in a bad mood, and nothing was going to get her out of it. The worst part, though, is she always wants everyone else's mood to match hers. So if she's complaining, she thinks you should be complaining too. We deal with it. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Leah had just gotten divorced and was pretty down. To make herself feel better, she invited my wife and their other 2 college friends, April and Marie, on a girls' weekend. Leah booked the place, covered most costs, only asked for a little bit of it back if they were going to go. The other 2 friends immediately said they were in, but my wife needed a little convincing. While all 4 women had gotten married since college, only Carrie has become a mom. Our daughter, Lorna, was 13 months old at the time of the trip, and Carrie hadn't ever been away from her for longer than 24 hours at that point. This was going to be close to 72 hours. I could tell that Carrie really wanted to go on the trip, but that mom guilt was kicking in pretty hard, so I pushed her to go. She hadn't had a break since her birth, and I thought she could use it. I'm not an idiot. I can handle taking care of our child for 3 days. She agreed and told Leah she was in. Carrie thanked me for telling her to go before she departed and seemed very excited for the trip. They went down to the beach a few hours away. Leah had booked them an Airbnb. Carrie told me beforehand that the trip was planned to be hanging on the beach on Friday and Saturday, hitting the dance clubs each of those nights. Be back home Sunday by 4 p.m. I gave her a kiss and slap on the butt as she went out the door, totally unaware that our marriage would be over just 4 weeks later. When my wife got back from her trip, I greeted her at the door. In hindsight, I noticed that something was off about her return. She gave Lorna a quick kiss and headed straight for the bedroom. She gathered all her laundry up quick, taking it right down to the washing machine, came up and into the shower barely, acknowledging me or my attempts to ask about the trip or tell her about our weekend. I chalked it up to be tired and probably hungover. Over the next 4 weeks, she was very hot and cold. She would spend time seemingly ignoring me. If I tried to talk to her, she would give me short, crisp responses, then move herself to another room. Then the next day, or sometimes later that day, be so attentive. She was making me my favorite meals, coming on to me in the middle of the day, leaving me love notes. It was really weird. Then the Saturday came that changed and ended everything. I was watching the Padres play, when I got a text. It was from my cousin, Rick. Rick is married to Marie. They met through me and Carrie. Well, anyway, he asks if Carrie is around. And I say, yeah, she's in the bedroom. Then he tells me I need to see something. But it's messed up, and it's going to be hard for me to see. I told him to just tell me already. He says he can't. He will just let me see for myself, but that him and Marie are getting divorced, and I probably will need a lawyer too. Next thing, a link to a Google Drive comes through. Rick says, look it over, then call him tonight or tomorrow, then ends things by saying, sorry man. I click on this link, and it's a Google Drive full of photos. It's basically the whole weekend girls trip from start to finish. Everything looks fine at first. There's a video of them touring the house, a few group selfies, then a couple videos of them being silly and drunk at the B&B on Thursday night. But they are alone. It's just the four of them. I keep looking. The next day is them at the beach. They all look great in their bikinis, especially my wife. You would never guess she already had a baby. At this point, nothing is setting off alarms. I keep going through beach photos, and now there are 3 guys in them. It looks like they started playing 4-on-3 beach volleyball with some dudes who look like they are in their early 20s. Body language suggests some flirting may have been going on between April and one guy. I keep clicking, and now these 3 guys are back at the B&B with them. I can tell it's still the afternoon. The first few pics are everyone still in their beachwear. There's nothing overtly suspicious in any of the pictures, but I was thinking to myself, why in the hell are these guys there in the first place? It gets weirder. As you can tell, the women start getting ready to go out. They are taking showers and coming out just into the living room area, just in towels, on their ways to the bedrooms. The guys are still there while this is going on. Now through this part, I haven't seen my wife cross any lines. The worst is pictures of her laughing and talking with these guys, which made me feel uncomfortable but not crazy. I notice mostly it is April and Marie interacting with these guys. They are more handsy. Pics of them grabbing one guy's arm, another shot where a guy has his hand on the small of Marie's back and she doesn't look bothered. That kind of stuff. The Google Drive keeps going. This thing is full. They go to a dance club. Everyone is drinking. Lots of selfies. Lots of pictures of drinks. Then I see the first video that makes my heart sink. My wife is dancing with some guy, not one from the beach earlier, a new one. The dancing is close but not inappropriate, not something I would want her doing, but not divorce-worthy either. I went through the rest of this folder and it doesn't get any worse than this when it comes to Carrie, but still I'm angry and hurt at the same time. I see a video that makes me understand why Rick is planning on divorcing. Marie is sitting on some guy's lap. Nothing more, but still I felt sorry for him, not knowing it was going to get a whole lot worse. There were no photos of after the club, which had me feeling both relieved and scared. If this is what they did record, what were they too afraid to record? The next day there are early morning pictures. 2 of the guys were on the couches. I remember thinking, where the hell are the other 2? The rest of the day is pretty normal, it looks like. Girls went out to some local shops, had lunch. There's nothing here that would trigger anyone's suspicion. I'm hoping this is the worst of it. But then I start to look through the final folder. They were clearly out of control on that final night. The whole of the pictures take place at the B&B they were staying at. The 4 guys are back this time, with what appears to be 2 others. Pictures of drinking, pictures of dancing. The guys are losing shirts as the night goes. Then I start to see the rest of it. The women were starting to remove layers as well. Carrie had been the most together in the photos so far. She really wasn't breaking my trust up to this point, other than omitting that these guys had been with them for the better part of 2 days. Then I saw her, partially undressed and kissing one of these guys. I checked back. It was the same one from the dance club the night before. I felt the tears roll down my face for the first time in years. My wife had been unfaithful. I wanted to stop there, not look further. Where she was at that point was enough for me. But I didn't stop. I really wish I had. After seeing pictures of April and Marie fully betraying their marriage vows, I clicked one more time. There was Carrie in a very intimate situation with this guy. Lights on top of the covers. Looks as though the picture was taken from a wide open doorway. It also seemed like She paid no mind to whoever was there taking the picture, her eyes focused on this guy, her expression showing intense emotion. My mind turned at that moment. Anger overtook me. I launched my phone into the wall. Carrie must have heard it because she came out just in time to see me going out the front door. She didn't say anything, but when we talked again a few days later, she told me she didn't know why I left until she picked up my phone. Damn thing luckily didn't break. She opened the screen to see herself and knew her marriage was over. I met with a lawyer that Tuesday. We got started on drafting the divorce papers. Still, I decided to go home. I had not heard from my wife in 3 days. She was waiting for me and had tears in her eyes the moment my truck pulled into the driveway. She came out to greet me as I got out of the truck, even tried to hug me, but I wasn't having it. I just said, "Let's go inside and do this." She begged and pleaded. She did not want to get divorced. I could see that. She seemed genuinely remorseful, but I was not going to ever be able to shake that image. I asked a few questions, the most important one being why. I've heard enough stories to know that every cheater, when they get caught, can't explain why they did it. They just say, "I don't know, caught in the moment. It was a mistake." Which is honestly worse. And maybe this was just me seeing her through rose-tinted glasses for so long. But when she said, "I don't know," I kind of believed her, especially when she said, "It was weird. I wasn't myself and I don't know why." It was like there was nothing holding me back. I cut her off. "Are you saying me and the baby hold you back?" She seemed aghast at that and said, No, like I can't explain it. It was like I had no inhibitions. I don't remember everything, which is also kind of weird because I was watching what I drank. I really didn't have a lot. Maybe 3 drinks. I chimed in. That makes me feel worse. She looked at me with a concerned look on her face. I know, I'm so sorry, but I'm just trying to be honest. There was no reason for me to do that. I just remember really wanting physical closeness, like as much as possible. That struck me as odd. She was a sporadic cuddler at best. Really likes her space, honestly. Sure, she wants to be close sometimes, but usually that isn't for very long. So why in the hell would she want that kind of closeness so much while she was there with a bunch of random guys? I did ask her who they were, and she said they were just guys they met on the beach that one day. Then more of their friends came. We just kept running into them. The beach, the club, lunch. None of it mattered though. She really tried, and I knew she was remorseful, but there was no coming back from what she did. April and Marie also ended up divorced. Rick was making things extra difficult for Marie until he was cited. Sending that drive to me got him in hot water. She agreed to drop the serious charges if he split the divorce and made it quick. April and Carrie were on board with dropping it as well, if it helped Marie. They were upset, but Rick had only sent it to us husbands. It took 7 months for all of the divorces to be finalized. I was ready to move on. I hadn't really been social that whole time. Forget dating or anything like that. I wasn't even leaving my new tiny apartment very often. When the divorce was finished, I decided I needed to stop living like this and get myself out there. It had been about a week. I went to guys' night at an old buddy I hadn't seen in like 2 years. I joined a gym. I told myself it was all going to be all right. But man, was I wrong. It was just a regular Wednesday. Carrie and I had not been talking except about when and how to exchange our daughter. But on this day, she called me in hysterics. She said that Leah had set them all up. I did my best to get her to calm down and tell me what happened. It took a good 10 minutes before she could get through it and tell me clearly what she was talking about. Leah had set up the whole thing. I had never thought Leah a vindictive or petty person. She wasn't my favorite person. She had her moods, but she wasn't a bad person either. So I was kind of surprised. I know her divorce went really badly, and that the last year or so of that marriage had been real bad too. I guess I just didn't expect it to change her so much. Carrie told me that Leah had planned out the whole weekend to try and ruin our marriages. She was the one who took all the pictures. She was the one who sent that Google Drive to Rick. Carrie, April, and Marie had all supported Leah during her divorce, and Carrie had told me she had started making some comments about how all men were bad, even sometimes suggesting that the 3 of them would be better if they were all single. I guess in her twisted mind, she was doing everyone a favor. Carrie laid it all out for me. Leah invited them all away for that girls' trip weekend because she was determined to end their marriages, so the four of them could live like they did back in college. Carrie said in hindsight, she remembers that Leah was constantly pushing them for one more drink. The whole weekend, no matter how much they had, she was the one who invited those guys. She had found one of them on Tinder and wanted to meet with him, but she also told him to get his best-looking friends and bring them so they could distract everyone else. That's why they were always there. Leah had planted them on the beach that day to meet everyone organically, and afterwards insisted on partying with them the rest of the weekend. Carrie said Leah seemed really into her guy and was being pretty physical with him. She acted really happy and said she wanted him around. That's why the others gave in. They were letting Leah back out of her shell, but that wasn't her motivation. She wanted the other guys to be around her friends the whole weekend to tempt them into crossing boundaries in their marriages, and she succeeded. I listened to Carrie rant about it for those initial minutes, but in my mind I was still thinking, yeah, but you were still the one that cheated. I'm reasonable enough to see why Carrie is upset, but that still doesn't excuse the behavior. Carrie had gotten more upset as she progressed towards this part of the story. But once she calmed down, she said, "It's not the worst part." I didn't know what she meant, but she had my attention. Then she dropped the bombshell. She drugged us. My first thought was roofies, but Carrie was quick to clarify. Leah had slipped them low doses of substances. When Carrie told me that, it all made sense. I had replayed the conversations we had right after her. Cheating had been exposed in my head a million times. I just remember really wanting physical closeness. That wasn't Carrie, that was the substances. I told her I would support whatever she needed in terms of pressing charges against Leah. We talked for a little bit longer, and I could tell she wanted me to offer to come over or to invite her over. I couldn't do that though. I was just starting to get right, and this whole thing was pulling me back under. If everything she said was true, it changed a lot. I think I could heal faster. I think I could forgive. But I know I will never forget. If she had confessed, or even if I had just been told she cheated, I think I could have possibly let it all go. I could take this reality and put what happened behind us because it wasn't her then. It was the substances and the alcohol and what Leah was creating. But I didn't just hear about it. I saw it. I saw that picture. She was into it. She was enjoying it. And maybe it was the substances and everything else. But that look on her face, that will stay with me forever. And unfortunately, I think it ruined her for me. Carrie showed me the woman I married after everything came out. She was strong and focused. Sure, she was initially in shock, but once that wore off, she went to the police, then the prosecutor. April and Marie were eager to join her. Everyone handed over their texts and messages. The women's timelines and statements matched up well. The men were questioned as well. It quickly showed that the guy who arranged for the others to be there was just there for Leah and completely unaware of her plan. His friends were totally in the dark. They just thought they had stumbled onto 4 women looking to have a good time. Now I don't totally absolve them. They knew these women were married. They're scummy, sure, but criminal, no. The prosecutor moved forward with charges. All the evidence was solid. Leah ended up taking a plea deal for the substance-related actions and for sending the drive to Rick. She got 2 months in county, 2 years of probation, and 250 hours of community service. It was satisfying, especially for Carrie. She fought really hard to make sure Leah was held accountable. I showed up for her, and pretty often through the whole process, I wanted her to know that I understood what happened to her and forgave her, even if I couldn't undo what it cost me, us. April and her husband reconciled. Rick and Marie gave it a shot too, but they didn't last. I think Carrie was really hoping we would try again too. I couldn't. We've been great co-parents since, and I think we would consider each other friends, though we have drifted apart in the years since. She recently told me she had a boyfriend now. They've been seeing each other for about 6 months. I appreciated the openness. I haven't put myself back out there yet. Maybe one day. I think I'll always love her. And maybe under different circumstances, we would have made it. But I've also come to realize that understanding why something happened, why it broke, doesn't always mean it can be fixed.